Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or good afternoon, good evening, what, both calls based on what part of the world you're listening in from. My name is Ronnie Walker. I am the Ronnie of Ronnie and Yashika Dating Discussions. And this segment is the Man Talk Mondays. Now, I'm going to go over something that I've been speaking about for many, many years, public service announcement. And this is a drum I'm going to continue to beat often. And if just because I'm a man and because I speak to men on a regular basis, I want what's best for men in all aspects of their lives. Now, of course, this platform, we're talking about relationships, but this is a very important part, if not the most important part, when you're talking about a relationship, and that is your overall health. But to go deeper, in this segment, we're going to talk about men's sexual health. Because, gentlemen, listen, I know that there are challenges in the world as a man. When we're dealing with the environment of our workspace, our business space, family space, just overall, just going from day to day. Well, I know it's been said 1,000,001 times, and it's going to be said another 1,000,001 times in terms of taking care of your health. If you want to best navigate this spaceship called life, then you really need to make sure that you're of optimum health. If you want to make sure that you're getting the very best and essence out of an intimate relationship, then your sexual health needs to be on par. And this is really important to me that I could, communicate this to you all because, see, I speak to, consult, and coach women quite regularly. And this is one of their top concerns when they do call for those that are dating and those that are in relationships, be they married and unmarried, or looking to get married. This is important because nothing's more frustrating than a woman feeling or finding out that she has found what they feel is the forever one, and it gets to bedroom time and the performance is not there, either not at all or on a very small scale. Now, truth be told, one of the things that I do address is making sure that during the dating process, that there is an honest conversation you need to have. If you're going to talk about finances, if you're going to talk about future family, if you're going to talk about where you're going with your life and where you see the significant other in your life, well, then sex does play a part of that. Even for those of you who choose to wait until marriage to have sex. Well, you don't want to wait until you've gone down the aisle and you've now gone to Tahiti or off the coast of Africa, and you're sitting there at that villa, and the moment of truth comes, and you're not on the same page. Now, I will address some of the concerns that women have, but before we go there, I want to ask the gentleman, I reach out to you, what is the challenge? What is preventing you from going to the doctor? Now, I've written some notes because as part of my sex certification, when it comes to coaching men and women in this space, this was something that was certified by a doctor. So the information I'm giving you is from a doctor. I'm not claiming to be a doctor or of any way, shape, or form, but I do have life experience, and I do take the study of a doctor who specializes in this. So what is the hesitation? Because again, doctor or no doctor, this is something that a lot of women feel men are not doing enough of, especially when it comes to that area. So when we're speaking of sex, then we all know that it's much more than just a penis, okay? We're dealing with prostate, we're dealing with blood flow, we're dealing with desire, we're dealing with medication. There's a number of things. Now, I'm going to try to cover as much as I can. It's the morning time. I have my cup of coffee here, so you may see me take a few sips. You also may notice that I'm going to refer to some notes that I have because I really didn't want to miss too much. And while there may be some information I'll go over at a later time and probably more in depth, I just wanted to start with some form of a framework in this discussion that I know men need to have with themselves, first and foremost, also with the significant other. And it is my prayer that at the end of this show, that you'll have this discussion with a doctor. Now, when we talk about a doctor, I want to stress that I truly believe, as the doctor has also communicated, that one of the best doctors are the doctors that are looking to treat you naturally before immediately writing your prescription to solve your challenges, intimately with your partner and with yourself. So always look for more natural ways in which to improve your stature in this space. So, let's start out with a stat. Talk about prostate. Depending on the studies that you read, 15 to 45% of men over the age of 40 have an enlarged prostate. So in short, what does that mean? Go see a doctor and see if this is one of those things that is affecting you. Definitely go see that. Go see a doctor. I have friends that suffer with that. When you're dealing with the cancer, this is something that is very, very challenging for them. And listening to their journey and how it affects the relationship and their desires to have sex and the spouse's desire to have sex. And because you're going whatever procedures that you are dealing with to get better, there's a challenge within that. And by the way, you can find the men's discussions or Men Talk Monday on YouTube. You will see this on the Ronnie and Yashika dating discussions. That's Ronnie and Yashika dating discussions. And if there's something that you want to contribute to the conversation, you can reach me at ronnieandyashika@gmail.com. That's ronnieandyashika@gmail.com. And this way, you may have an experience that you'd like to share, a testimony in terms of your journey and how you've gotten better, that men could learn from and maybe be inspired to take on that they at one point did not. Also, I provided resources that I'm telling you, figured I'd tell you now as well as in the end so that you don't forget. You can go to MrRelationshipManCave.com. That's MrRelationshipManCave.com for a whole bunch of resources. I'm dealing with mental health, personal care. There are things that I have supplements that you could order, natural supplements that could possibly help your journey in this space in terms of erection, testosterone. So by all means, take advantage of the resources, take advantage of having the ability to reach out to me. And if I could forward your information onto someone that I feel or you feel that may be better suited to your particular situation. But as men, let's join together and let's work together to not make this a problem. So here we are talking about the challenges and what can cause them. Well, let's talk about ways in which we can improve them. Well, there's movement and exercise. Also, we all know our diet plays a big part. What we put in our mouths and eat plays a big part in our overall health and our sexual health. We're talking about lifestyle. Now, I mentioned prostate. Also, testosterone, that's very, very big, and other hormones. See, there are many things that can affect. It could be your job. Many of you brothers are out there having a very hard time at your job. The work conditions are intense. Your boss or possibly coworkers, the politics every day when you walk in the door not knowing, or in this case now, how many of you working from home, every time you open up an email or a Zoom call, you're wondering if you're being replaced or your position is being eliminated. So these are things that add on to that. So let's just say now you have challenges with the family. That can also create challenges when it comes to sexual performance. Your nerves. There are many of you who are taking medication that affects that. Some of you are dealing with diabetes. Some of you are dealing with, well, something as simple as, well, it would be simple based on, the severity of it, just back pain. And that can affect your lack of exercise. There are many men that are overweight. And if there's anything that I do, no matter which doctor I've interviewed in this space, when I talk about one of the first things they do to address men and their sexual health, if they want to get better and create more blood flow, first thing is lose weight. Lose weight where? That stomach. Lose that stomach. And you'd be surprised of how much you will have gotten back, how much juice you have gotten back into the blood flow and making sure that you can perform for your lady. Now, using herbal supplements. Now, we all know that there's a plethora of supplements out there. Hell, you can go to the gas station and find, things that for the night will make sure you get the job done. But what I'm talking about here is not just short-term fixes and something that's not going to wreak havoc on your body long-term as well. Let's face it. There are many things out there that'll get you through for a night, a month, a week, or whatever. You're on that vacation and you're coming through. But we're talking about an overall lifestyle so that at a moment's notice, should the desire hit you or hit her, you're up and ready to go. So what type of supplements are we talking about? Well, again, if you go to MrRelationshipManCave.com, that's MrRelationshipManCave.com, there are supplements that are incredible. And you can see the ingredients for yourself to make sure that this is something that may help your situation. Now, mind you, anything that I'm reading to you that the doctor has shared with me, I'm not advocating that through this, you omit going to a doctor. No matter what I share with you, I'm going to first stress that you go to a doctor. Gentlemen, do not in any way, shape, or form deny yourself, your family, and your intimate partner about making sure that you stay on the path to improve health and improve sexual health. So please make sure that you go see a doctor regardless of everything that I'm reading here. Well, here's another thing. Let me ask you, what is your relationship with yourself? What about your self-esteem? Do you feel good about yourself? Because if not, that can also play a part. You want to make sure that you have a very healthy relationship with yourself. And if not, why? And if there are some challenges with that, then I also provide some coaching in that space. So you can reach out to me at resultswithronnie.com. That's resultswithronnie.com. Now, if this seems like some form of a infomercial, well, it is. It is. It's one thing to talk about a problem. It's another thing to talk about the problems, the challenges, and then provide resources that provides results. So it's not more so a commercial than it is just providing you the resources that you need to get the results that you're looking for. Again, however, just to add on to that, if there is something that I feel that may be better suited to another professional, by all means, I have no problems in recommending you or pointing you in that direction. Because in the end, what I want is I want more men to take the initiative to look after their sexual health. Okay? So having a very low self-esteem really plays a part in your performance sexually. And here's the other thing. The women know it. She knows it. Now, is it also possible that she could be the cause of that? If so, well, have the conversation. If you're having challenges, have the conversation again. You both reach out to me. Book a consult. Let's get you both on the same page. Because having an erection and not feeling good about the relationship does not solve anything either. Again, we're talking about a healthy relationship, healthy mentally, healthy physical, healthy spiritual. We want to make sure that you are completing the circle in which you are. And see, all this adds up to a very healthy mindset. Mentally, it's healthy. Because now she knows, she feels the energy that you're sincere, you're intent, you're making her feel wanted and desired. Because we do know, and if you speak to enough women, you ask your partner, what happens if you're not able to get it up? You're not able to perform. A lot of women take it personally. They think it's them, and it's not them. And you have to be honest enough within yourself to communicate to her that it's not her. And sometimes if you feel that it is, then address that as mature adults. But make sure that your self-esteem is intact and in a healthy space, because studies have shown that could also play a part in that. So, are you tired? Is your job, and not just tired physically, mentally? Are you tired? That plays a huge part in that. I want you to get to a space, at the very least after this, that you start with being honest about who you are and where you are on your sexual journey with your significant other or potential significant other. Because until you're honest with yourself, then of course you're not going to be honest with her. And then she may very well be in a space where she feels deceived. And you don't need her to feel that way, because then that creates a whole nother set of challenges that you have to address. So I cannot tell you enough to be honest with yourself. Seek the help that you need. And if your significant other is urging you to go, don't interpret it as being a pain in your ass. She's nagging you. No, take this as a sign that she sees something. And it's not only going to benefit her, it's going to benefit you. And you in this space is the most important part. You are a very important component in this relationship. And she wants to make sure that she gets hers, that she really should have that desire. But you should have yours as well. Now, I have some other information that I believe I will share. As a matter of fact, I know I will share another time, but I didn't want to make this too long. I just wanted to set up the foundation of this conversation. And I want you to reach out to RonnieNishika@gmail.com. That's RonnieNishika@gmail.com. And this way, we can continue to have this conversation because, again, it is for your benefit. It is for your benefit. It is for your benefit for your significant other, and it is for the benefit of the family as well. And this is also something that I'm sure if you speak to your brothers, the men that you are at the sports bar with or the local cigar lounge, I'm sure this conversation has or at some point will come up. And if you have resources that you feel that they can benefit from, then reach out to them. You could also send them to me. And let's make sure that we address our needs to feel better sexually, as well as doing what we can to make sure we satisfy the needs of our significant other. My name is Ronnie Walker, Master Coach of Exceptional Dating, Relationships, and Sex. And I want to thank you for supporting yet another edition of the Man Talk Mondays. I'll see you again next week. And until then, be safe and take care of yourself.